Welcome to Acer's product training on our MediaTek-based C722 Chromebook. For our agenda today, we will have a quick discussion around MediaTek processor strength for education devices, and we will also then talk about the details of Acer C722 Chromebook. With this, I'm going to hand it over to Victor Tian.
Thank you, Nidhi. And again, my name is Victor Tian. I lead the Chromebook go-to-market team for MediaTek in North America and Europe. Today, I'll be talking about, giving you a brief introduction of who is MediaTek, what are our Chromebook offerings, the benefits that these products bring to consumers, and I'll talk about our partnership with Acer, where we bring exciting products to the market. So let's start first with who is MediaTek. MediaTek is a fabless semiconductor company that develops chipset platforms for consumer applications such as smartphones, tablets, Chromebooks, and other entertainment devices. Fabless just means that we do all the hardware and software design in-house, but we outsource to foundries such as TSMC that produce the actual chips for us. The company was founded in 1997 and is headquartered in Taiwan. And the picture you see in the slide is our headquarter building in the Hsinchu Science Park in Taiwan. And to give you an idea of the size of MediaTek, we reported $10.9 billion of revenue in 2020, which was about a 30% increase year on year. This was mainly due to the increased demand for consumer home products with lockdowns implemented in many parts of the world, coupled with MediaTek's great products and ability to deliver these products to the market effectively. To give you a sense of the different segments that we play in, you can see here a variety of different products and also our position in the market, where we enjoy a leadership position in nearly all the segments that we participate in. So you can see here we are in the smartphone space. We have 5G as part of our portfolio. We also still ship feature phones to many markets such as Africa and other emerging markets like Latin America. We're in the Android tablet space. We're also in the smart speaker space, where we have, again, a leadership position with probably about over 50% market share. We're also in the TV space, where we here again enjoy over 70% market share. And then lastly, we're in the networking space, where we ship SoCs that power repeaters, routers, and other type of networking equipment. So why is MediaTek a great choice for Chromebooks? So at a high level, it really comes down to three main reasons. First, we use powerful multi-core processors from ARM that provide great all-round performance that can meet the needs of the majority of the consumers out there. Second, leveraging our decades of experience in the mobile industry, we bring highly power optimized designs to Chromebooks that deliver all-day battery life to consumers. Lastly, leveraging our strong relationships with our foundry partners such as TSMC, we've provided consistent supply of Chromebooks into the market since 2016. And this was especially true in 2020 when the pandemic created a lot of uncertainty and unprecedented demand, yet MediaTek was still able to provide chipsets to the ecosystem. Let me talk a little bit about MediaTek's Chromebook roadmap. Firstly, I'd like to mention that MediaTek has gone through a rebranding of its Chromebook products just recently. MediaTek Companion is our new branding for our Chromebook chipsets. And basically, Companion represents your reliable, innovative, do-anything, everywhere companion that delivers an incredible Chromebook experience. So we have three main series that cover the good, better, and best products. So Companion 500 is for the entry segment, Companion 800 series is kind of for the mainstream segment, and then Companion 1000 is for the flagship. So today's focus, it will be on the Companion 500 chipset, which is also known as the 8183. And this is part of Google's Learning Anywhere devices, which supports multiple browser tabs, Google Workspace running concurrently with video conferencing applications. Next, I'd like to talk a little bit about the technology benefits that MediaTek brings to Chromebooks, which are really spread across 5 main pillars. First, silicon process technology, which refers to a specific semiconductor manufacturing process and its design rules. The smaller the process node means the smaller the feature size, producing smaller transistors, which are both faster and more power efficient. MediaTek utilizes leading-edge process node technology by mainly leveraging designs from its mobile phone business. With better power consumption, OEMs can use thinner, lighter, and smaller batteries, producing sleek and lightweight devices. And the Acer C722 is a perfect example of this. Furthermore, because our chipsets consume very little power, they don't need expensive cooling equipment like fans and complex industrial design to dissipate the heat. And this all brings cost savings to OEMs and provides very competitively priced devices for consumers. The second pillar is all about our multi-core octa-core technology. So MediaTek's octa-core architecture couples 4 big cores with 4 little cores from ARM. This can be thought of as a highway with 8 lanes, and this can be compared to our competitors that typically have 2 or 4 cores or 2 or 4 lanes. And the big advantage of the octa-core technology is that when you're running multitasking scenarios, when many applications all executing at the same time, the MediaTek solution provides more bandwidth, whereas our competitors start to face congestion and performance degradation. The third pillar is all about ARM processor technology. Since Chromebooks leverage the Android Play Store, many apps have been developed and optimized for ARM processors. Android apps that run on our competitor x86 architectures typically need to go through a translation layer, whereas Android apps can run natively on ARM-based chipsets like those from MediaTek. This extra translation step can be viewed as overhead, negatively impacting latency, app startup time, app smoothness, and also the power consumption efficiency. The fourth pillar is all about image processing technology. The key benefit here is that MediaTek is leveraging very power optimized and sophisticated image signaling processing hardware that we've acquired from many years of smartphone research and development. So this means we can run camera and video applications very efficiently on dedicated hardware instead of utilizing CPU and GPU technology that is far less power efficient and that many of our competitors rely on. The end result is longer battery life when carrying out video applications, especially in mobile or portable settings, like in a coffee shop or in a classroom where an AC outlet may not be available. And the fifth pillar is all about AI technology. And this is an area that we're working closely with Google to identify and implement use cases that bring value to consumers and to students. So similar to the previous case, MediaTek is leveraging very optimized and sophisticated AI processing hardware that we've acquired from many years of smartphone research and development. And this means we can run AI algorithms very efficiently on dedicated hardware instead of utilizing CPU or GPU technology that, again, is far less power efficient and that many of our competitors rely on. So I'd like to talk a little bit now about competitor benchmarking, which really takes a lot of the material that I just covered in the previous slides and puts them into perspective with some real numbers. So for that, we took basically 2 Chromebook devices, a Dell device that's powered by an Intel Celeron 4020 chipset, and the Acer 722 device that's powered by the MediaTek Companion 500 or MT8183 chipset. So as you can see, both devices have very similar specs, allowing us to perform an apples-to-apples comparison. As you will also notice, however, the Dell device has a 17% larger battery compared to the Acer device, which adds to the weight of the device and also to the form factor design. So at MediaTek, we like to focus on real-world life use cases, as opposed to synthetic benchmarking, which we think is more representative of how consumers will actually use the devices. So we started out by comparing these 2 devices in different scenarios. And the first one is movie playback. So we took the 2 devices, we fully charged the batteries, and then we ran a video and let these devices run off their batteries. And what we found is the Dell shut down after about 5 hours and 33 minutes. The Acer device at that point still had 45% remaining battery capacity. We also looked at other scenarios like a multi-person Meet video conference. And again, we found that the Dell device shuts down after about 5 hours and 37 minutes. The Acer device had 52% remaining battery capacity at that time. A more demanding use case, again, with a Meet video conference, but with a YouTube streaming and closed caption form going on at the same time. And this is, again, trying to mimic some of the use cases that we see today, either students or folks at home running different applications where they might be conversing with people in remote locations, but still trying to perform some kind of local processing on media. So here again, we found that Dell shuts down after about 4 hours and 25 minutes. The Acer had 45% remaining battery capacity at that time. And then lastly, we looked at a duo video conference where again, the Dell shuts down after about 4 hours and 55 minutes. The Acer had 50% remaining battery capacity. So in summary, what this data shows us really is that the Acer device is providing roughly 2x the battery life, even though the Dell battery size is actually 17% larger. This really, if to put this into perspective on based on what I talked about earlier, it's really coming down to three main things. One is the process node technology that we use is very power efficient, allowing these devices to consume very little power. The multi-core technology, the 8 cores, are giving us a very fine control of the power and battery resources while running these applications. And then thirdly, as I mentioned, these apps don't need to go through any translation. They run natively on the ARM devices that are incorporated into the MediaTek chipsets. And by doing that, can run in a very efficient way and consume very little battery. We also looked at some real-world performance use cases. And here again, we took some applications, for example, like measuring the time it takes to start up the Chromebook. The Acer device here is about 28% faster than the Dell. We looked at some multi-person Meet video conferencing while we're doing image processing, either import or export. And here again, we see the Acer device about 58% faster with the import and about 14% faster with the export. And then we also looked at some Meet video conferencing while we're doing some image filter presets. Again, here the Acer device comes up about 17% faster than the Dell. And then lastly, we looked at a multi-person Meet video conference with the copy and tinker function. And again, here roughly about the same performance between the Acer and the Dell. In summary, what we find is that the MediaTek octa-core technology excels when there's multitasking scenarios taking place. When there's many different demands on the processor, this is where the MediaTek 8 cores start to really shine. So key takeaways from this really is all about MediaTek and Acer Chromebook value proposition. It all comes down to great performance that can meet the needs of a broad set of customers, all-day battery life, fanless design, enabling light and sleek form factors. A point to note about synthetic benchmarks, which are used out in the market, we think that they can be useful for very specific performance characteristics, but are not always representative of real life use cases. So they don't necessarily take into account the effect of multitasking or the impacts to the battery life. So for education, real life applications where battery life, video conferencing, and multitasking are important, we believe MediaTek outperforms the competition based on the data that we just walked you through. So I'd like to hand the presentation back over to Carlos to talk more about the Acer C722 product. Over to you, Carlos.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you for that great information. Acer is very glad to be collaborating with MediaTek on offering the MT8183 on our new C722. I just want to give a little information about the 722 we're offering into the marketplace. It is a clamshell non-touch Chromebook. It has an 11.6-inch high definition screen. It has 4 gigs of memory with 32 gigs of storage. It supports AC wireless. It has a thin 3-cell battery that supports up to 15 hours of battery life. And it has a Google AUE. AUE stands for Auto Update Expiration, good until June 2029. And every Acer Chromebook, including the 722, has a 1-year limited warranty. Acer also offers an assortment of extended warranties. You can extend the warranty up to 5 years on our devices. We also offer accidental damage. So we have a lot of options available for the C722 in terms of securing your device. And additionally, this product is now shipping. We've been shipping this since the start of the year, We have good supply in the channel, also in our hub, and we have continued supply coming up until the end of the year. In fact, we'll be offering the 722 up until the end of December 2022. So this is a long-term product for us, and we have good supply for the entire period that we'll be offering this product. What makes this product great, in addition to the offering the very reliable MT8183, we've offered almost every durability feature that we offer on a Chromebook on the 722. It is uniquely designed to support students in a classroom environment. The 722 has a honeycomb mold, and what that means is if you close the lid, the C722 can withstand up to 132 pounds of pressure. And so this unique design ensures that device remains intact. You can put it in your backpack, you can stack books on top of it, and the chassis and the screen won't crack. Additionally, we reinforced all the corners on the device and offered a rubber bumper. So if a student drops the device off his desk or is walking and drops it, the device will remain intact, the screen won't be damaged. Keyboards, this is an important component to Chromebook design. One of the top reasons why Chromebooks go into service repair is because students are plucking the keys off. So what Acer's done is make the keyboard flush with the palm rest, so the keys aren't popping out. There's less temptation for students to pluck those keys off. Additionally, we made the gaps around the keys narrower, so it's harder for students to put their nails underneath the keys and pop them off. And on top of that, we've offered an anchor keyboard on the C722. And so as you can see in the diagram on my slide, there are two wingtips on each key. These tips go underneath the palm rest cover, making it even harder for students to pluck those keys off. And we've also made the 722 spill proof. There's a metal plate underneath the keyboard, so if a student spills his beverage on his keyboard, all the electronic components underneath the plate are protected, and the water flows away from the components through a unique drainage system and out the Chromebook. So it's a really nice design that we've been using for over 15 years with numerous Acer products. It's tested and it's proven. We've also reinforced all the ports on our 722. So the USB Type-C, the charging ports, the USB Type-A, every port is screwed onto metal brackets inside the Chromebook. So if a student drops the Chromebook or bumps into a wall, the ports won't come loose. Additionally, we redesigned the hinge on our C722. It's even more durable than it already was. And we expanded the bracket inside the Chromebook. This bracket connects from the hinge and goes to the top of the Chromebook screen. And so if a student decides to pick up the Chromebook by the screen, there's less flex, protecting the display from cracking. And finally, we've tested a C722 with 6 mil-spec tests. It's tested for humidity, spills, vibration, mechanical shock, high and low temperature. And on top of that, we tested our 722 for UL and ISO child safety standards. So not only is the 722 durable, it's safe for younger students as well. So to summarize, with MediaTek MT8183, you get very reliable performance. With 8 cores, it works uniquely with Play Store apps. It's designed to optimized to work very well with Play Store apps and video streaming apps. So you get great CPU performance and we get outstanding durability. Again, we've offered every durability feature we offer on a Chromebook on the 722. It works with any student environment, whether you're at home or in the classroom. And finally, we have great stock right now in the channel with Acer, and we have continual supply coming until the end of the year. We thank you for considering Acer and our C722, and we appreciate all your support.